locked in, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Make sure we recording on both of those.
Yeah, we good.
All right, hey, this is a new frontier, man. This is our inaugural podcast. We'll be back to it, man. Once again, Real Life Talk. Charleston White said Real Life Talk.
Yeah, Real Life Talk, man.
I think we might lean on that, man. But this
phrase.
is the first time where we let's go and just have, a general conversation amongst men, women, and general people of the population. But we're going to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves first and foremost.
Hey, man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's Jam Visions Cam, guys.
Hardest photographer in the world.
Hardest photographer in the world, man. You already know what it is, man. Real Life.
Who else?
That nigga is definitely all right.
Right.
That nigga is definitely just okay.
Hey, God in this game. Man, you already know what it is, man. Real Life Joker with the RealLyfeStreetStarz.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Charleston White, man. AKA Rat Williams, nigga.
That's sensation.
Man, a boober.
Yeah. This is the Ambassador Elliott, a.k.a. Stacy Elliott, better known as the father, the greatest running back in the history of the NFL. Soon will be proven.
The greatest.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Hey,
Put some respect on his name.
RealLyfeStreetStarz, baby.
Put some respect on his name.
You already know Real Life Rook. You know what I'm saying? Coolest nigga ever do it.
Yeah, hardest rapper in the world. Real Life Jeff, engineering, podcasting, all of that, video.
Hey.
You know how I go.
Real life fast money, but I changed my life. Now it's fast and pray. You already know.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Pray, man.
Fast and pray.
Now, hey, off the rip, man, Charles, you brought up a beautiful point when we first walked in, man, as far as just knowledge, black society, black people's knowledge as far as in business and their ignorance to it.
Yeah.
And I want you to just really touch base on that, and anybody, definitely jump in as far as, where they feel as far as we are as a people, as far as our knowledge or either ignorance of just the infrastructure of this American society of business,
There's a scripture, you can say it's a saying, that a people will perish from a lack of knowledge. When you look at our conditions right now in America, most of us is perishing from lack of knowledge, but we exist and we live in the information age.
Turn the mic.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right, yeah, so we live in the information age, right? So information is at the tip of our fingertips. The problem with that is learning how to decipher information, right? You got false information, you got true information, and man, you got shit that's mixed together, part false and truth, right?
How do you decipher between the two with the internet?
That I was just about to say, that's where it come in, right? Where do you get your source of information from?
Right.
So in college they teach you, when you write papers and you say, I got this data, I got this statistics, where you get it from? You have to know how to cite your source.
Right.
In journalism, if you repeat something and you write it in the paper and you write it or you say it in a published television show, it can't be a lie. So you have to cite your source. So where we getting our information from as black people now?
Facebook memes.
That's what I'm saying. Google, which is not a credible source of information. So when I got into this so-called entertainment industry, I got with managers, I got with people who I thought knew. When we got to the doors and started sitting down at tables with people who really know, I started realizing they don't know nothing either. That could be our parents. So when our great minds take us further than where our abilities has us, right? So when we get to the boardroom, when we get to the NFL, who know how to take us any further?
If I may add, comment on that, so I started a company called Fifth Down Management, and I have managed some very big brands. Man, my son Ezekiel Elliott was my first client. I learned a lot on the job training with him. But one thing we have to do is be students, be humble and be students and gather information from various different sources. One of the things that I learned, and I'm gonna give you some real good examples, because you quoted a scripture, my people perish from the lack of knowledge, but we never go to the next verse after that because we reject knowledge. So
Forgot knowledge.
One of the things that I realized is, give you a prime example. When you manage an artist an athlete, a talent, the federal government allows you to buy them gifts. And those gifts that you buy them is a write-off with the IRS. Your client pays you a management fee, that's a write-off. So I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. You got a hip hop artist and your hip hop artist pays you $10,000 a month as a management fee. Well, if his gross income that year is $200,000, he can write off $120,000 of $200,000. That $120,000 that he paid in management fees and go to Fifth Down Management, from my income, I could take $50,000 and buy my client a bust down Rolex. Did you hear what I just said?
Sure.
Just heard you.
That's
And so,
what's happening.
Gang.
In the black community, people would say, like, for example, if I roll up in my Bentley truck, oh man, Stacy Elliott, man, they see niggas throw their money away. See, man, he taking all his son money. You a fool. We don't even buy cars, we lease them.
Talk to him.
And so that Bentley truck that I have, I pay $3,000 a month. Okay? 12 times 3 is what? 42,000. 42,000 off of whatever I make that
Wait,
year.
you said 12 times 3?
12 times 3. 36,000. Thank you. So that $36,000 that I pay on leasing that vehicle that I've been wanting all my life. Don't tell me I can't have it after I don't work my ass off. You know what I'm saying? I got the car I want, and I'm not giving the IRS that money.
There you go.
I'm reducing my tax burden.
Free game.
So I gotta ask, and any of y'all can answer this.
It makes sense why the record labels give out cars.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Watch it. It makes sense now.
Yes,
They
sir.
just they get it all
It
back.
makes
They
sense
get it
now.
back. Yeah, they get it all back. They get it all back. And I'm just curious as far as what age do y'all feel like, our people should start learning business, and who should teach us?
5.
5.
Playing Monopoly. The Monopoly game.
Nice.
Yeah.
See,
Make it make sense.
see, my brother here talked earlier about slavery.
Yeah.
There are 3 sciences the slave master never wanted to teach our people. The science of warfare, the science of mating. You broke it down. We put more emphasis in breeding pit bulls than who we lay down with and produce children. And the other science they never wanted to teach us was the science of business. So we have to become students and study these things because the information is there, but we have to study these things. And that's why sometimes we gotta be careful as black people, because no offense, like LeBron James and his team, I know them personally. You might see him with Mr. Buffett and all of that, but my question is always, is he managing his money like Mr. Buffett? See, we get all these pretty looking symbols in front of us, but why do we die broke and their children continue to eat off of our sacrifice and talent?
Hey, man. I don't know why we don't have life insurance. They give you the Gerber life insurance, $3 a month. This will manifest beyond after the 18. You could probably pull from it. We don't even buy into that $3 a month. We feel like it's a hustle. We don't have the knowledge behind. This life insurance, that sounds like a.
We
Boy.
reject it. That's the part where we reject.
Yeah.
Because the lie looks like the truth to us, and the truth look like the lie.
It actually, and that we most stop at the perish part, the lack of. It says forgotten and rejected, right? So we in the generation where we rejected. This generation, my generation, you can't tell us the truth. We gonna reject it. Even if you show us the truth, we're gonna reject it. Because we've been grown into our feelings. We've been grown into our feelings. What make us feel good, our mothers, our teachers, our principals have appeased what make us feel good. So we don't know how to deal with discomfort. So we reject what's make us discomfort. It can be good for, but we gonna reject it, homie.
Let me ask y'all about the life insurance. Because they always talk about life insurance. And black male always get scared. I don't want to buy into life insurance. Can someone please break that down? Why you should have life insurance?
Well,
You go die?
first of all,
Shit.
like my brother said, we're gonna die one day. But there's a But this is the thing. I'm a little older. I'm probably the oldest brother up in. Well, I don't know.
We'll let you have it. We'll let you have it for now.
I'm the OG.
We'll let you have it for now.
Back in my day, you don't see this today. The insurance companies went door to door.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they were selling cheap ass policies to our parents. There are different type of insurance policies. There are insurance policies that you could pay for 50 years and they're only worth $30,000. And then there are insurance policies that wealthy, wise people use that they pay into. The insurance policy
And it
grows
grows.
bigger.
You can
and
borrow
it's
from it.
And it's a tax write-off. You don't pay taxes on that. So even major companies have insurance policies. It's a way to grow your money. You can borrow, as my brother said, and you can reduce your tax burden. So insurance is a means that the wealthy use to grow wealth, and it is a means that the wise use to suck the blood of our people. So
Yeah,
now
'cause-
this new generation of thinking of black people, we don't get insurance at all.
I'm gonna give an example because I just went through this with my mother. When she was younger, she got a policy, and it was a very large policy. But what they didn't tell her is it was term. So
That's the term.
yeah, so
You got whole life in term.
whole life and term
Yes.
life. Whole life ain't shit.
That's right.
Term life looks beautiful
That's
when
right.
you're young and you want to leave something behind for your
What's the
kids.
difference between them?
Term life is to your 65. So let's say you're a good person. You're not no fucked up person. You go to work every day. You check on your health. You get a term. That shit goes out at 65. You probably gonna live to 80 because you live right. You get your regular checkup. But soon as your term ends, soon as you turn 66, it goes up every year. Your policy that was $50 is now $600.
That was growing.
Next year,
That's
it's
right.
$1,200.
That's right.
Next year, it's $1,600.
That's right.
And every year, it goes up. And to the point where you can't even afford it no more.
That's right.
But you get a whole life policy, it give you $20,000.
That's a hell of a scam.
Wait,
right
No,
there.
it's a super scam.
Yeah. And that's been going on in the black community for years. Like I said, I remember when I was a little boy, those companies went door to door.
There was a snake oil salesman.
And
Yeah.
my mom and them used to pay them. They take the payment
They
at
used to
your
come get
house.
the door. They just come check money. Not hey, like yeah, for real.
Can you buy life insurance on someone else? I know.
Yes.
You
So-
go be the homeless person. Put
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on.
Well, how come we're not? How
I had
come
a
I don't
callback.
see more of that? Like people saying you live a reckless life. I'm
No,
put
what
life
you
insurance
don't
policy
what
on
you don't know is they do that.
They do it.
No, I know the record labels will put
No, I
life
got
insurance
some
policies
auntie
on
uncles
artists.
that do
Hey,
it.
I was just saying, listen.
Empire is known for-
back in the day, all the women knew to put life insurance on their boyfriend. Then they may be broke up 15 years.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, they may.
I
be
know you
broke
out
up
here
15
wilding.
years.
That's
But
crazy.
she gonna go cash in. That's when you hip. That's what the church is supposed to be doing. The church is supposed to be saying, I got a congregation. The church can go get the same insurance that the job got. Corporate insurance. The church is used to man, the
They
church
used to use the church.
yeah, they used to use the church, homie, to get us what we need. Everything used to flow through the church, and it was righteous. When the slaves, when black people wanted to do something in secret, nigga, they met at the church. Secretly met somewhere at the church. The church used to be the lifeline of who we are as a people. We don't have that no more, right? So we look to the non-profits. Who's teaching us this?
You know, the truth of the matter is, a lot of white people don't even know this. There's a certain level of ignorance in America, period. We just always at the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Right.
Black folks.
We the ignorant of the ignorant.
So let me ask, and this is for both of y'all, because y'all come from an era where it was kind of glorified to like, man, I live past 21. I won't live to see past 25. When y'all were coming up, did y'all have the same mindset as far as what the movies possess? Like, I probably won't live to see 25 living in my neighborhood or living from where I'm from. I don't think about 40 years old. I don't think about being 50 or retiring because I'm not in that environment that we survived till we're 65. So to me, is that something that y'all went through coming up as far as?
I did. I grew. I mean, when I look back, I'm like one of the few people who done survived my hood.
Yeah.
And so I never thought that I would reach 52. And I really thought that I either would have murdered somebody and got life or did a lot of time for selling drugs back in the day. And so, yeah, I just, I think about that often, about my boys who dead and gone.
Yeah, I look at it like when you say the ignorance of trying to learn something or even life insurance, is some people don't even invest in, they don't feel like it's a good investment because they're like, well, I'm not going to be around long enough to even teach a son what I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I think that was the mentality that was going on because I know I had that. Like,
part of the problem is when you in the gutter, you ain't got shit anyway.
I was just about to say that, man. When you coming from where we coming from, the word, unless you had the life insurance man coming at your door,
That's right.
you don't know nothing about
That's
it.
right. That's right.
And then the crazy part is, like you say, until something happens where you have to use insurance, you don't even know what's going to happen with that either.
Well, think about this, homie. The average poor motherfucker, insurance ain't on the budget. Car insurance, house insurance, life insurance.
That's a bill.
That's the last year.
Let me veg you back on something though, and this is before my generation came in. I'm part of the hip hop generation X at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The generation before me is the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a time in the black community, if you died and wasn't attending a church, you couldn't have a funeral in a church anyway. That's how funeral homes came into existence, because when you would die, you would be celebrated at your house.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and then out of that grew funeral homes, because churches would not allow you to have your funeral at their church because you wasn't a member.
Didn't pay tithes.
Exactly. You wasn't,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was the church, some could say being greedy or saw a business opportunity, out of the church grew funeral homes. Now in this modern era, a lot of the black funeral homes are owned by corporations. Corporations came in and bought all the black funeral homes up. So you may see a black face, but it ain't owned by black people. But my point is that there was a time insurance wasn't that important either. And when it became important, like my brother was saying, they went door to door, those was junk policies. I remember my mother had like 5 junk policies. They was junk.
Junk.
What I'm saying is, like my brother, how he broke down whole life and term. There were policies my mom had been paying in for years, and I remember we having a little financial problem, and she wanting to cash them in, and the shit wasn't worth nothing.
So it's a reason why there's a law for you to have insurance. There's a reason why there's a fight over health insurance, and the doctor saying, well, if you got this kind of insurance, that's the biggest scam in this country. Slavery was insured. The boats that packed the slaves had insurance on them.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's real. Think about that.
So it's a scam, right? So, one thing about, I ain't gonna put no color to this. One thing about the wise man, he know how to get his insurance money. He don't pay insurance all his life and don't utilize his insurance.
Yeah.
We pay home insurance and never have a flood in our home. We'll never have a damage to our roof because we want to be good people and we never learn the system. We believe you abide by the system and people find ways to, I wouldn't say cheat the system, but there are loopholes created for the system, and some people never learn to look for the loopholes. The wise rich man always find the loopholes.
That's true.
It's so crazy. My mother's roof was coming in. She paid HOA fee, home insurance all her life. All since she on her, the roof was caving in. They said, "Oh, it's not caving in enough."
Yeah.
We can't condemn this motherfucker.
Well,
They like to collect, but they don't like to pay out.
Well, here's the thing. The niggas. The niggas. Now, not the nigga. The niggas. The niggas would stage a house fire
Yes.
to collect.
Yes, he will.
Two niggas learn how to slip and fall in the stove
Man.
and file on insurance.
Oh, my neck and my back.
Two niggas learn how to have fender benders and act like they didn't know each other and collect on
Hop
insurance.
on in that mother. Everybody hopping.
But you know what though? If as black people though, if you study a lot of these insurance companies, they became rich off of slavery. So like my veggie back on what my brother was saying, you know, the boats that was designed to bring our ancestors from Mother Africa to the so-called New World, each one of those bodies was insured. And I'm not going to be anti-Semitic, but the truth of the matter is many Jews were behind the insurance companies that insured those slave ships. And so today, these companies that we're dealing with getting insurance policies, they've been around for hundreds of years. And a lot of them was rooted out of our suffering.
Yeah.
Man, Charleston, let me ask you, when you see a young black child either murdered or something happens and there's no insurance policy there, but there's a GoFundMe to ask, the community or whoever, strangers, to please help me bury bury our nephew, bury our son, bury our friend. What are your thoughts when you see that as far as insurance should be taking care of that? But now we're looking to strangers to help get this 10,000 GoFundMe started the next day.
When a child dies, there should be no strangers in our communities. There should be no strangers. But nobody's obligated to us but us, homie. There used to be a time where if a child died and they didn't have no insurance, that family didn't have to reduce themselves to have to be shamed while mourning. The community.
Yeah, like you said, church.
Church, homie.
Church, you go.
But when you prophetize, when you put a profit on there's a profit on death.
That's right.
Yeah.
Profit on death. Motherfucker get your organs, them organs going somewhere, your skin go be sold. Man, I might even do something with your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a profit to it. So even the preacher get a fee for preaching that day at the funeral because they had to open the church up on a day that's normally not open.
Charge a fee.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what about our nation of people? When a mother loses a child and have to bury a child, there are other mothers who can connect with their pain. If nothing else, they can put themselves in her shoes and imagine what they would feel. The convictions of the village is supposed to make everybody stand up.
But at one time we were a closer community. We would have parties to raise money to help each other with funerals, to help each other with pay the rent. But I would say that I know me and my family, I personally have paid for funerals out of my pocket. It's really sad. But I do remember, because I've been working in the community most of my adult life. I do funerals. I've done many funerals. Yeah. And I've seen funeral homes work with families too. But like you said, it's big business. And if you really pay attention, it's a company called Batesville. I see their damn trucks all in our neighborhood. They sell caskets. I don't never see them in white neighborhoods. I see them pulling up, unloading their caskets right in the black neighborhood, these funeral homes. And it's such a big business, like I said, probably in the last 15 to 20 years, big corporations bought out the black funeral homes. Most black funeral homes in America ain't black no more. They just got black faces.
I feel that. And it's crazy because, African community, they have wakekeepings. They celebrate. They bring all their money together to help the family, and they do it again for whoever else family that passed. So they don't really mourn. They celebrate wakekeeping. Everybody throw money. They throw money on everybody dancing. They take the money up, give it to the family because someone else in this community is gonna die. Therefore, we're gonna do the same thing, and everybody pay their dues almost. I hate that we don't have that in our community. Like Charles was saying, I mean, It's the mentality of
We gotta get
the
it
American
back.
nigga.
No, we gotta get it back. We once had it. So we gotta go back. We gotta study what happened to us. Why are we so divided today? We had it one time in our community. I'm old enough, but I'm young enough. I remember when I was coming up, if I did something wrong in the hood, your mother could tell me, stop and beat my ass. But I also remember that started changing, where families start fighting and shooting each other because you said something to their child. So what happened to us? And you hit it on the head earlier. The music, the culture, people behind the scenes setting the tone, they're benefiting. I heard the brother say this earlier today. He said that music has done to our community like crack cocaine did. Crack cocaine made a lot of people rich, but it fucked up our hood. That's what music has done.
Man, that's right.
Do y'all feel like any of the gun laws have anything to do with anything?
Hell no.
Nah.
I
That don't have
personally
nothing to
don't.
do with it. It's the
Nah.
mindset that I feel other people.
Well, you
But
got.
where they getting these damn guns from, though?
Well,
Go to a gun show.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
well, it depends on where you're
Make a
at.
gun.
Now, see, I'm from New York. New York had, growing up in the 80s, the toughest gun laws, and they still do in America. Your ass would get 3 to 5 for a bullet. And so, but then in the South, the Midwest, and the rest of the country, it was more lenient. But we got to study that too, because we're in Texas. And what Texas said is, nah, we're going to go back to where it used to be. And so I tell people as black people, we have our opinion based on our sojourn in America, which is understandable. But when you step back and you see why the Caucasian is upset with the government about guns, they have a legitimate reason. Because when the 13 colonies was under the British confiscated their weapons. And they would seize their homes. So the First Amendment is what? Freedom of speech.
Yes, freedom of speech.
Second Amendment is right to bear arms. And so what the white man is saying against the powers to be is, you have no right to take that from us. This is what the founding fathers created this country based on. Plus, there's nothing in the white man's constitution that says if I'm a convicted felon, I can't have a weapon. That's what the British was saying. You guys are criminals, you're going against the law of the British, and you don't have the right to bear arms. Now, where do we play a role in this equation as black people?
We don't.
The mentality. My brother said the mentality. We take our guns and we kill each other.
Yep.
See? And so the white man don't mind white people having guns. It's just niggas they don't want to have guns. The Black Panthers took the white man's law and used it against him. And when the white man, Reagan in particular, he was the governor of California, up against the Black Panthers, saw all that, that's where the gun laws start changing. They don't want black folk to have guns. That's why it's very, very dangerous for a black man to have a gun legally or illegally.
True.
Yeah, for real. For real.
That's facts. What I want to do is I want to go around the room as we, of course, sign out. I definitely want y'all's thoughts as far as, just for our people, as far as what do you expect as far as not only education-wise, but what would you like to see, for what you feel a young black student coming into adulthood should be learning towards, whether business, whether family, whether law, whatever, treating a woman. What do y'all feel is the importance of a young black kid coming up in America? Go ahead, fast.
If it was up to me, my daughter wouldn't even go to school. She would have a private tutor.
Right.
She would learn trades. She would learn different cultures and language. She would learn survivalist skills, and she would be tutored like that. I wouldn't even let her be in the school because they don't teach you shit no way. She would learn shit that would grow her independently as a person, but not as she would not have an education, a worldly education.
That's real.
No, that's true. I grew up in a environment where we were just being taught. It wasn't at a public school, but we were being taught the certain things that we needed to do, especially even growing crops. From always doing on the hands projects because we were getting taught a different way than it was in school. in school, even with the food, the 5 pyramids of the food, you're getting taught wrong. You know what I mean? Your diet, and that's the one thing that's wrong with us today. The main thing we can't interact with each other is because of how we see each other. So we always gonna stay divided, and because of our diets and the way we eat. You know what I mean? So we are never able to survive longer to even teach the younger generation. You know what I mean? And the way our children even growing up today, they don't have nothing else showing them what to do that's right. They have the internet. You know what I'm saying? That's always in their face. So when they, like Charleston had shared, when they wake up and go to their phone, the only thing that they see is just some bullshit. They have to consciously say, okay, this is what I'm specifically going to look at.
Right.
I'm going to go look at Discovery Channel. Or I'm going to look at how far is the sun from the moon and, you know, diverse on certain things like that. But they don't be on that because what they see is bullshit. And then we be on bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we get up, you know, the mom,
Yeah.
TikToks. You know, that's the fucked up thing. Most of the parents is acting like children.
Yeah, they walk in and see us watching something that they shouldn't be watching. They're like, oh, they don't close your eyes, don't turn off the eye. Just hopefully they ain't looking at it. They ain't gonna turn the channel off. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And I feel like one thing that we need to learn or teach our youth coming up is I'm gonna say credit, man. One thing that I learned is money is obsolete. It only gets you so far in this country. I'm only going by this country because that's the way. If we're going to look at integration compared to separation, if we're going to integrate in this country, then we got to learn the behind the scene system as far as how everyone's getting ahead. And this really credit early on, as far as building. You have no financial history in this world with money. You could be 37 with $1 million,
Right?
and if your credit history is 0, no one will trust you to give you more than what you need. So you're kind of depending on the way you're making money. So I definitely feel the youth could use early on education of the importance of credit. Learn about how it works later, but the importance of it, like instill that. I feel we'll be better off as a people, man, for real.
Can I say something to that too?
Please.
About this whole credit and money thing? When you have a lot of money and you black, you still feel like a criminal. Mm-hmm. Like I go to the bank,
They wonder how you got it.
you don't want to give me my money.
Yeah.
And then look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Need manager approval.
And then
I do that. I went to go draw $10,000.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we need to call some people to. I'm like, this is my money, and there's more money in there. No, well, we got to get verified and make sure that you've had it there. Let's look at your account history. I'm like, this is my money.
Yeah.
If I was a Caucasian man, it might be like, okay, let's get it for him.
No. They gonna call the IRS.
That's what they told me. They said we got to report this. You can't,
So I mean, so it just so you made me think
That's
about
it,
that
they
because
gonna
when I was
10,000.
younger, and I would have bands, literally happened to me. The police took this shit from me in the airport.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, immature, and I believe in myself. I ain't no street nigga. And I have bands with me. I be in my mind like just recently. I'm like, I hope you fuck with me. I just hope. But why do I have to feel like that?
That's real. That's real.
We have to break it up.
Yeah.
My son, the richest motherfucker
Yeah.
back in the history
This
of
is-
America.
right.
And we breaking the money up.
Yeah, we got to
That
come in
shit
different.
crazy,
It's
man.
5 of us. Everybody grabs
Yeah.
some.
Yeah,
Come on.
and it's crazy. Does your son be who he is? It'd be like, what you doing with all this money?
Yeah.
What am I doing with it? What am I doing with
man,
it?
when we go
I'm gonna spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
Black, but see, going back to what you said about credit, if we don't operate like white people, we doing something illegal.
Yep.
That's what it all come down to. Because one thing, and one other thing to that, and I'll say when I say what I say, but
Yeah.
the science of business, money, what black people got to learn is everybody borrows money. Everybody. Borrowing money has nothing to do with how much money you have. It's a benefit for me to give you $100,000 towards a business venture because I can write it off.
Man, that's real. Oh, message.
Yeah. For me, man, post crack epidemic, right? We forgot about a generation of kids that was literally born crack babies. We forgot about the crack babies. We act as if they just disappeared, but they grew up. So the level of violence, what you see in our communities, is a result of the crack baby having children. You got the crack mothers who had crack babies. The crack babies became the pill children, who, when they had children, they pill pushers. So they children are the recipients of drill music, right?
Yeah.
So through the process of all these three different genres of music that's affected our culture, man, you got abuse, you got fatherless homes, you got molestation, you got a lot of pain in the black community, homie. That's why the violence is so extreme. That's why the acts of violence that we see in videos that's committed against each other are so heinous, right? That's pain. Nigga kicking another nigga, stomping another nigga. That's pain. We can get all the education in the world, homie. We can get all the shit in the world. But if I'm in pain and I get to that bank and this motherfucker fucking with me about my money, I'm gonna reach over there and slap that motherfucker and go to jail.
Real talk. Real talk.
You see what I'm saying?
Real talk.
I got the money. But nigga, I'm gonna pull out the gun and shoot like Pooh Shiesty did at the concert with all this money in my pocket because I'm in pain.
Respect.
You see what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm gonna do like Pac-Man Jones. Nigga, throw the money up in the air when somebody touch the money, start shooting. I told y'all not to touch this goddamn money because I'm in pain. So if we don't heal the pain, it don't mean a motherfucking thing, homie.
Man, that's real. Man, that's real.
Shit, nigga, we in pain right now, nigga. Our dad is gone. Our mamas, all our mamas, we got a generation, nigga. Our mamas wasn't dope fiends. We got a generation, nigga, where if your mama left and she was gone all the time, your neighbor said, y'all come over here and come eat.
That's right.
And they loved you.
That's right.
We got a generation of no love, nigga.
That's right.
And it didn't come till the crack came.
That's right.
Man, that's real.
So we got to put love back into us. Our cousins, nigga, we hate our cousins. We got motherfuckers don't even a gangbang against their own cousin. We got motherfuckers, and listen to me, homie. We got small town cities. Because they small towns, they gang banging and they gang violence is centered around them and their cousins. It's your cousins setting him and your cousin over there with his friends.
That's right.
He's setting them up to rob you because y'all cousins, but y'all ain't close knit. Him and your mama don't get along. Grandmama probably was treating him better, so you grew up with this hate and this jealousy. That's rooted in the family. So when we get the knowledge, nigga, when I'm in pain, I'm gonna rob you. I'm gonna betray you when you go to elevating it. So that's why we can't click together, because we all in pain. So if my tooth hurt, I don't care about your headache, nigga.
Man,
I'm having migraine. I don't care that you broke your finger. Nigga, if these migraines got me in pain where I'm crying.
that's real.
So every day we passing niggas that's in pain. That's why when niggas get drunk, they go to talk about, yeah, man, I remember. That's why they can't let their childhood go.
Yeah.
That's why they put it in their songs. Don't let them have an altercation with their mother or their father. They gonna throw that back up in their face. Because they hadn't got past the childhood trauma. They marrying this motherfucker because what they went through as a child. Motherfuckers is behaving as adults based on what they did or something happened to them as a child because they hadn't got past it. They hadn't got counseling or they hadn't got the healing. So today we substitute the pain, nigga, for pleasures. That's why we all want to have fun now. Let's turn up now. Let's get lit. Because we really in pain.
Monday through Sunday.
I do want to ask you this.
We just talked.
Yeah, we just talked about this, but we had a specific topic. I'm just curious on your thoughts on it. And we said, why do young black men? I didn't want to touch on it.
I don't do that.
I don't want to do it. Hey, as a matter of fact, Rook, what you got? What you got? Oh no, Stacy spoke on it. But what you got as far as?
Yeah, I was just feeling what y'all was saying.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't know how you can follow that one.
And I just wanted to say something about the pain. And
That nigga Rook be in so much pain.
I done been through a lot of pain.
Man.
And one thing I just want to just give out knowledge to my brothers is, man, I smoke, drank, do all that shit. I sobered completely up. And I had to process everything that went through me. And that really helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just having to process the pain. And it would, like, I think about how I would get over on my brother, do something to that, and I had to just look at it and be like, bro, I'm in pain. I'm going to do something bad to you because I feel bad.
Misery love company.
Yeah.
Can I say something? I'm a veggie back on something that you said earlier and tied to this whole thing about pain. You said it in a very crude way, but I got the message. When you said it's more important to know who my daddy was and who my daddy's daddy was and my lineage, that is very important. Yeah. Because that's the knowledge of self.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
When we have to get a knowledge of who we are, you said something very crude but very real. We are new people. We're not the African that was enslaved. We are just a part of that because when they enslaved our ancestors, they raped our women and mixed their blood with us. Mm-hmm. And then our blood was mixed with the Native American. We're a new people, come up in America, the hells of North America under all kind of pain and suffering, 400 years of being raped and displaced and taken, like you talked about, from our parents and moved around. And now, so we're at the zenith of our pain now. We got internal pain from our past. We got pain from our present suffering. And we don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And we got to get a knowledge of ourselves because we're not that African. When you meet that African, no disrespect to them, you can tell we not the same. If you really study, no offense to Africans, especially East Africans and stuff, you'd be like, I see how they got us. Mm-hmm. Because we are strong people. Like, we've been under hell. And so we also need professionals who going to understand our pain if we're going to get counseling.
There you go. And see, this why when you asked me that question, Frederick Douglass said, it is much easier to create strong children than it is to repair broken men. They repair broken men with no problem. That's why so many programs for reentry. And we don't focus on the boys to create them as soldiers, the science, right? So when he asked that question, I went inside an institution at the age of 14 that created strong children. I went into a whole environment that repaired all my childhood issues, homie. So when I came out at 21, homie, I ain't got no issues. I ain't got no issues. Nigga, we've been in therapeutic sessions, man. We've been in psychodrama, acting out. Nigga, I ain't got no issues. I said, aha. My issue was when I came back to the community, nigga, the community was fucked up. I've been gone 7 years. In a positive environment. When I get out in 1998, the community fucked up, nigga. Master P rapping about ghetto dope, how to cook crack. The dope game in 98 was damn near like the 80s. It was logical to sell dope for black boys. It made sense economically and logically it made sense because the rewards were so great because you really didn't know the risk.
So we have to start holding people accountable. I heard y'all talking about the Super Bowl, I believe, performance. Yeah. And you must be talking about Snoop Dogg. Yeah. He must be held accountable. I'll never forget, Adidas came to me. I was at the draft with my son. Adidas came to me and said, oh, Snoop Dogg want to meet Ezekiel. I said, no interest. Now, I'm going to tell you why. I had no interest because, first of all, as a gang specialist, working in Northside St. Louis, I saw what Crips and Bloods and that mentality and how it destroying our young people. And for you and to me, Brother Snoop represents disrespect of women, black women in particular, pimping black women, gang banging, and you're telling me, and I saw it at the Super Bowl, doing the Crip walk, what he was wearing, you're sending a message. That shit, you getting rich off of that. but our community is going further and further into the abyss of hell. Who's going to hold him accountable?
Preach.
He's a good brother, but everybody need to be held accountable.
Preach, man. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Jeff, did you want to touch base on as far as I know you a young black father?
Yeah. I mean, I think especially for me, like growing up, as a kid, sometimes you don't know what direction you want to go into, and you might find a passion that you tap into. I remember being in a school where I took a program where at 13, 14, we could have got certified, network certified, and actually been able to get a job at 16, making 80,000 plus. And I just thought, man, just think about a person who has no direction, who could take a class and maybe intern and do some things. And when you see something that you've never seen before, it can make you aim higher. Mm-hmm. So I just think, having these programs in the school, like, you seen Town View and like Oak Cliff or something, and they got all these dope programs, and now you get all these dope kids from that school that go on to do great things. So I feel like having programs that kids can actually go intern, go chase their dream at a young age. Like you said, as a kid, you're going to be focused. Whatever you do, you're probably going to put 110% as a kid. When you get older, you got responsibilities, kids, you got to work. Yeah. You don't got time to really dive into your talent. So that would be my thing that I have.
Man, that's a blessing, man. What I want to do is, once again, thank you guys for coming on the podcast, man. We got some big hitters here, man. We got Charleston White. We got.
I don't know how we follow this up. It's all downhill.
We got Cam guy, man.
Well, next time we're gonna have some hoes.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Man, everybody, give your social medias as far as how to follow you, man, for them to make sure they reach out to your platform.
Band Charleston White, Instagram, and The Real Charleston White on YouTube.
And also the website.
Oh, yeah, therealcharlestonwhite.com. You got that nigga girl over there, man. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished.
Get it.
And I'm on Instagram. I'm Fifth Down Management. You can look me up, or Ambassador Elliott on Facebook, Stacy Elliott. Twitter, Stacy Elliott.
Yeah, Jam Visions Cam God. All you got to do is put in Cam God on Instagram. Shoot, I'll pop up.
Yeah, no, it's
the same thing on YouTube.
It's RealLyfe Productions, man.
Yeah, RealLyfe Productions.
You know how it goes.
LYFE, RealLyfeStreetStarz. There you go.
Thank you.